Let's see what blood pressure is. (148/97). It's because my pain level is it's because my pain level right now is at a level 6. My pain level's all over the place throughout the day. It's like a 2, it's a 6, it's a 10, it's a 4, it's a 7. But one thing about it that's pretty consistent is right before bedtime and when I first wake up. That's usually when it's the worst, before bedtime. Every time, every day, right before bedtime. Like I go to bed around 7, 8 o'clock. After 5 o'clock, that's when it's the worst. And then first thing when I wake up in the morning. Anyway, what I'm about to tell you that happened to me at the ER today, I feel like this is so unbelievable that when you hear this story, you're going to think I'm lying. Or you're going to think I'm over exaggerating, because this is so unbelievable. I feel like it is what happened to me today in the emergency room. I promise you, God is my witness, God knows, I am telling you the 100% truth what happened to me today. I get to the emergency room. They do the triage thing. I think that's what they call it. They take your vitals. When I first get there, my blood pressure is 169 over 90. I've got a blood pressure in the emergency room, 169 over 90. So then I go back in the lounge waiting area. I think I waited there about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And so then they called my name. Now, they didn't take me to a room. I have gone to the emergency room before, and they had me on a bed in the hallway. They kind of made a spot in the hallway, a room. But what they did today is they took me to somebody's room that already had a room. Okay, this guy was in there. He was having an appendicitis attack. And they put me in his room in like a recliner right next to his, right next to his, sorry, I was getting a phone call. They put me in a recliner right next to his bed. And so 30 minutes or so goes by, doctor comes in there and he asks me what I'm there for. And I tell him the absolute truth. I tell him that, I was here a year ago with the same problem. As a matter of fact, I remember you were the doctor that I saw. Not only were you the doctor I saw, but you were the doctor that actually gave me this neck collar too. I told him about that, and I tell him that I was supposed to have surgery on my neck a year ago, but it got postponed because of my leg injury. I had I had a severe hematoma on my leg that hospitalized me twice. And I said, now my leg's healed up and I'm ready to have surgery on my neck. And I told him that a year ago, Dr. Abel was all in about doing surgery on my neck. He was all in, and I don't know why he changed his mind. And I told him, I said, I'm here because I'm having pain spikes. Pain spikes that's raising my blood pressure. I showed him in my cell phone these pictures of how my blood pressure goes up to 230 something. I told him about all that. This is the part you're going to think I'm lying, but he really honestly told me this. He says, I can't see you unless it's an acute. I think that means it has to be like an injury that I have to be like in an accident that just happened. I think that's what he means. He says it has to be something that's acute, something that just happened. It can't be. He said that he couldn't treat me in the emergency room for something that has been an ongoing problem for a long time. Now, I know that sounds like bullshit, but I swear that's what he told me. He walks out of the room for a minute. Actually, when he tells me that, I forgot. When he first tells me that, I tell him, I said, no, I've done talked with my insurance company about this. It does not have to be an acute. And I'm telling him what my insurance company has told me before, that that's not true, that they can see you. It doesn't have to be an accident. My insurance already told me that. I've been through this scenario before where they told me it had to be an acute problem. And I've asked my insurance company about this before. And they said, no, that's not true. And I was telling him that. He walks out of the room for a minute. I call my primary care doctor, and I actually have the primary care doctor's nurse on the phone. Primary care doctor's nurse on the phone. He walks back in the room and tells me, there's nothing I can do for you today. You can only come to the emergency room if you've had an accident. And then I blurted out to the doctor, I said, I've got my primary care doctor on the phone. Actually, it was the primary care doctor's nurse. I got my primary care doctor on the phone right now. She's just sent me here. She's what told me I should be coming here. I said, would you tell her what you're just telling me? When I told him that, he goes, well, I can do an MRI. If you want me to do you an MRI? Because he knows I got another doctor on the phone, I guess. Now he changes his tune to, oh, he didn't say, oh, he goes, well, I can do an MRI. I can do an MRI. You want me to do an MRI for you? I said, sure, let's do an MRI. Then I got off the phone with the doctor, and he tells me again and then he tells me again before he even sees the MRI, before he even looks at the MRI, he tells me, he says, there's no way I'm going to be able to get you a surgeon to fix your problem today. He hasn't even seen the MRI, and he's already telling me that I can't, most likely I'm not going to be able to get you a surgeon today. I guess because it was an acute problem. It wasn't an acute problem, sorry. It hasn't been. So he does the MRI. And he makes a suggestion of me going back to see Dr. Abel, which I called him again. I called Dr. Abel's office again. That's what he told me to do, was call Dr. Abel's office. I'm trying. I don't know why last year Dr. Abel was going to do my surgery, and then now all of a sudden he changed his mind. But I promise you this, folks, I will be back in the emergency. If this pain problem doesn't go away, I'm not anticipating it to go away. This don't go away, I will be back. I will be back. I will be back. I don't care if I have to wait 5 hours to see the doctor for 5 seconds for him to tell me to go. I will go back. I will go back. I will continue to go back to the ER with this until somebody does something. I will go. That's what I'm supposed to do. When you have pain spikes so strong it kicks your adrenaline in. When you have pain spikes so strong, it chokes you. It chokes you. Pain level 8, 9, and 10, you're supposed to go to the emergency room. Especially when it's affecting your blood pressure like this. So I will go back. Anyway.